Hi viewers, I welcome you all to Technology Learning Space YouTube channel. In this video, you are going to watch how to install Exchange Server 2016. This demonstration includes a brief overview about the architecture of Exchange Server 2016, the new changes, pre-deployment checklist, then installing prerequisites, and then following to that how to install Exchange Server. I recommend all of you should learn this Exchange Server architecture in very detail because that will help you to get a better insight to fix issues when you troubleshoot Exchange Server. In an installation or deployment, you will find things very easier. But once you deploy it and started troubleshooting for your client issues, you will realize the worthiness of architectural knowledge. I have a video talking you about the architecture and the mail flow in the same series in very detail. We will start with a brief overview about the architecture and the changes compared to previous version. In Exchange 2016, it consolidates all roles into two, Mailbox Server and Edge Transport Server. Mailbox Server includes Mailbox Database, Client Access Service, Unified Messaging, and Transport Servers. Edge Transport Server handle external mail flow. As a security practice, Edge Transport always installed in a perimeter network. For detailed explanation, I suggest you to watch my video explain about the architecture. Here is about the architectural changes in Exchange Server 2016. First one is server role consolidation. As you've seen in the previous slide, now only two roles, Mailbox and Exchange Edge Transport Server roles. Client access role is installed automatically as a part of Mailbox role, and it is not available to install as a separate installation option as in Exchange 2013 or 2010. So this simplifies hardware purchase and maintenance and also management cost. The second one is search improvement. When you search for something, local search instance is now available to read the data from the local Mailbox database copy. So this will avoid the passive search instance coordination with their active copy on the other server, and this improves search. The third one is Outlook Web Offer provide a built-in preview of Office files and PDF. And the fourth one, MAPI over HTTP is a default for Outlook connections which offer improvement over traditional Outlook Anywhere RPC over HTTP connections. Now about the pre-deployment checklist. Before you install Exchange Server 2016, it is highly recommended you to review your network, hardware, software, client, and other elements. Following are the few points need to be checked before proceeding to the installation. We will go through one by one. First, let us talk about the coexistence. Exchange Server 2007 server and earlier versions are not supported. For other versions, you need to update with a proper service pack and rollup to meet the Exchange 2016 installation. In case if you didn't remove the old versions properly, installation will stop you during the pre-check. Here about the domain controller. If your organization using a domain controller and forest functional level with Windows Server 2008 or higher, you can say your environment is ready for Exchange Server 2016 installation. But it is highly recommended you to keep the latest version because Exchange Server 2016 can have a better performance with 64-bit Active Directory domain controller. Let us see how to check the domain controller and forest functional level. Log into your domain controller. Open Active Directory Domain and Trust. Right click on the domain name and you can see raise domain functional level here. When you click it, it will show you the current domain functional level, and this is the highest possible functional level that I can go. I'm running my domain controller on Windows Server 2012 R2. And if you have something lesser than 2008, you need to plan for a raise in the domain functional level. And also, if you have operating system less than 2008, also you need to consider for an Active Directory migration. I'm not going to talk you more about hardware requirement in this demonstration. Here are the minimum requirements, like a processor of 64 architecture with Intel, memory for Mailbox server minimum of 8 GB, edge transport server minimum of 4 GB. I have a very good document explain you about the sizing of hardware for Microsoft Exchange 2016. So I advise you to go through it. That will cover more detail if you are in a position to size hardware requirements for Microsoft Exchange server. Next is about the operating system supported for Microsoft Windows Exchange 2016 server installation. Here, Windows Server 2012 or later is supported. The new operating system Windows Server 2016 is also supported for Exchange 2016 installation. Here about the supported clients. For Mac, Outlook Mac 2011 is the minimum required for Exchange 2016 connection. And for other cases, Outlook 2010 SP2 with the specific updates is required as a minimum requirement for Microsoft Exchange 2016 connectivity. We go through all the elements need to be checked before we proceeding to install Exchange Server 2016. Verifying all the elements in your environment and prepare your environment to get ready to install Exchange Server 2016. It may need an upgrade of Active Directory, or you may need to buy new Outlook for Outlook clients supported version. Otherwise, you may need to buy Exchange Server 2012 R2 or other operating system to prepare your environment to be fit to install Exchange Server 2016. However, once you have a ready environment, let us start with installing prerequisites. Installing prerequisites involve installing roles and features, .NET Framework, and Unified Communication Managed API. All these downloads are available from Microsoft. You can visit my website neasitpro.com to get the PowerShell commands to run the server roles and feature installation, and the direct link to download the .NET Framework and the other mentioned. So let us run the PowerShell command to install the operating system roles and features for Exchange 2016. Log into your Exchange server, the fresh machine that you prepared for Exchange server installation. And here I copied already the PowerShell command that required for the installation. Just select all, copy, then run PowerShell as an administrator. Just give an enter. It will take a few seconds to complete the installation. It finished the installation, and you can see there is a warning like you must restart the server to finish the installation. So let us restart the server. The next step is to install .NET Framework. Before you install .NET Framework, I advise you to go to supportability metrics and to check which .NET Framework version is compatible for your Exchange Server 2016. The link is available in neasitpro.com, so it would be easy for you to reach to all the downloads and the websites that you need to for Exchange Server 2016 installation. Here in the supportability metrics, you can see that Exchange Server and the .NET Framework, which is compatible for Exchange Server 2016 installation. So based on that, you can download .NET Framework. Here I download 4.5.2 offline installer for my Exchange installation. The other download required is Unified Communication Managed API 4.0. So just download this two .NET Framework and Unified Managed API and copy to your Windows Server Exchange Server 2016, and so you can proceed with the installation then. Once you download and copied all the setup to your Exchange server, then we can do the installation one by one. .NET Framework 4.5.2 has been installed. Now let us run this UCMS setup. Once you complete the prerequisites installation, the next is prepare Active Directory and domain. Exchange server need to prepare Active Directory so that it can store information about users' mailbox and configuration of Exchange servers in the organization. There are a couple of ways you can prepare Active Directory for Exchange. The first is to let Exchange 2016 setup wizard to do it for you. The account you use will need to be a member of both Schema Admin and Enterprise Admin Security Group. In case of large environment or if you have a separate team to manage Active Directory, you can choose a pre-stage preparation which can have a more control on each stage. First step in getting your Exchange organization ready is extend Active Directory schema. Exchange stores a lot of information in Active Directory, but before it can do it, it needs to be add, update, classes, attributes and other items, and this is fulfilled by extending Active Directory schema. So let us see how to do this. Now log into Exchange server. I copied Exchange setup to the desktop, so you can locate your Exchange setup folder, and I'm creating a folder called setup under C so that I can extract this Exchange setup into C drive setup folder. Point the folder that you created to extract Exchange setup. It will take a few minutes. Once you complete the extraction, next is to extend the Active Directory schema. For this, open command prompt. Redirect to the setup folder which we created for extracting Exchange setup. Now you can see it is preparing the Exchange schema for Exchange 2016. Now Active Directory schema has been extended. I advise you to wait a few minutes to complete the replication to all other Active Directory domain you have in your environment. In my case, I have only one domain controller, so I can proceed with the next step. The next part is to prepare Active Directory. During this step, Exchange will create containers, objects, and other items in Active Directory that it will use to store information. Here is the organization name that you can name your company name, something like that. Here I put me as IT Pro. So the collection of all the Exchange containers, objects, attributes is the Exchange organization mentioned here. Here I have only one domain controller in my environment, so this two preparation is enough for me. If you have multiple domain controller, then you need to run the third command, prepare all domains. Now Active Directory domain has been prepared for Exchange 2016 installation. Now let us proceed to install Exchange Server Mailbox role. Locate the Exchange Setup extracted folder in your Exchange server, and you will see setup at the bottom. If you want, you can check as it is a demonstration. I'm not going for an update right now. Let's copy in the required files now. Click next. Accept the terms in the license agreement. I prefer you to use recommended settings. Here I'm installing Mailbox role. So by default the management role management tools will come up with it, and you can see the Edge transport role. I cannot select it from here because Exchange 2016 allow you to install Mailbox role and Edge transport role on separate servers, not in one. We installed all the necessary roles and features that required for Exchange servers. So if you didn't install it previously, you can tick it here, so it will do the necessary installation required Windows Server roles and features. I'm choosing the default path. I put no. It is checking the readiness. So if you prepare the prerequisites installation Active Directory in a proper way, then you will not stop here. Otherwise it will show you the warnings if you miss something, or if your environment is not ready to meet the Exchange 2016 installation, then it will show you some warnings. Then you need to fix it and proceed. And you can see the prerequisite analysis completed 100% and there is no warning, so I can proceed with the installation. A setup has completed successfully. You can reboot and start using your Exchange server for further configurations. You can open Exchange administration console from here. You can see that Exchange administrative center and the management shell and the other toolbox. So you can log in with your credentials. Those who are Those who are familiar with Exchange Server 2013 might be familiar with the administrative console. Also, they changed it since 2013. Here, almost similar administrative panel with all the tabs arranged in the same way as in 2013. So we will be covering in a very detail. This video is a part of Exchange Server, complete Exchange Server 2016 series. You will find videos about the architecture. You will find videos about the high availability DAC creation, about the send connector configuration, receive connector configuration, then also about the tools and all these things. So subscribe this channel for more videos, and also you can add your comments below this video, and thank you for watching this video. Thank you very much.